OK, let's head up to Newcastle for their big race. It's the 2:45. It's the Betfred Ida. We've got a big field. It's wide open, and it's going to be a right old slog. 4 miles and 1 furlong on the mud on Town Moor. What's the latest betting from Paddy Power, please, Tom Nugent?
Vinnie Lewis is our 9-2 favourite at the moment. Hainan is next in at 7-1 alongside West of the Edge. 8-1 Baywing and Back to the Thatch. 9-1 Milan's Bar. 10-1 Houblon des Oveaux and 12-1 Bar.
You going with the old Houblon kills?
No, not in a massive field round there. No. It's funny. I lost so much money last week, having had loads of anti-post non-runners. I think all my selections in the weekend of last week, all bar one was a non-runner, and that one fell at the first. So I put up a couple of horses in this, and one of these was Back to the Thatch at 20-1. And of course, I thought, well, I'm going to wait this time because I'm fed up with doing money. And of course, it's got an entry, and it's now 8s with Paddy Power. But I really like him. He just looks like a progressive young horse. Now, I will say there's never been a horse as young as 6 win a race like the Ida, but he just looks all about stamina at Chepstow last time. He just cantered away, really won easily. It wasn't a good race. This is a much better race. He's got to improve. But Dickie Johnson's gone up there doing 10 stone 6. He can do a fair bit lower, to be fair. And Henry Daly, I think five of his last 8 horses have won. Five winners and a second from his last 8 winners. Absolutely flying. So I think he's got an awful lot going for him if he gets the extra trip.
I just don't associate Henry Daly or Paul Keeley with young horses, so that's a bit of a left field selection. Brendan, who are you going to pin your colours to here?
Well, in the hope that there are 4 or more finishers, Bruce, I'm going to chance 2 each way because we've got the 17 runners. I thought Chase the Spud was interesting. He's a curious horse because you would think that Chepstow would suit him down to the ground given how well he handles Haydock to deep ground and Utoxeter deep ground. But he has pulled up twice in the Welsh National and he's usually a pretty consistent horse. So maybe he has a thing about crossing the border into Wales. But I'll give him a pass for that run. I think he still has. I think he's going to handle the conditions, which is more crucial than the weight. I think he can cope with the weight, and also I can't let this Portrait King go unbacked at a huge price. He's 13, but as we saw in the aforementioned Welsh National, the old school had their day there. He's won the race before, he's placed in it before, and again, handling the conditions is so crucial here. I could see him plodding on and maybe getting in the money at a price.
A double carpet Portrait King. Big shout there from Brendan. Tom, who's your fancy?
Yeah, I had 2 at the entry stage. Knock and Raleigh came out, so that's a scratch. But Back to the Thatch was the one I liked as well. I thought he was good at Chepstow, stayed on really well. But obviously needs to step up. He got £9 for that, and needs to improve again. But he's got that nice profile. He's only 6. This is only going to be the 11th run of his life. And of course Henry Daly operating at a strike rate of 63% over the last 2 weeks. So a lot of box ticked for me. So it's Back to the Thatch.
OK, from a 4 mile, 1 furlong heavy ground chase at Newcastle to a 5 furlong sprint on the polytrack at Lingfield Park. It's the 2:05. It's the Betway Heaver Sprint. It's a listed race. We've got 8 runners, so we've got each way, nice friendly each way race. I don't think we've got betting yet, though, have we, Tom? Or am I?
Yeah, no, we do.
Underestimating you guys. Okay, what have we got then?
Absolutely. We're on the ball here all the time. Your Gracious John is our 3-1 favourite. Orvar is 7-2 next in. Caragini is 9-2. Royal Birth 11-2, 7-1 Bar.
Righty-ho, Paul Keeley, take it away.
Yeah, a fascinating race this because Gracious John is rated 110 in this 3-1 and Orvar is rated 97 and is 7-2. But Gracious John hasn't beat a single horse on his last 2 starts, finished last both times. And Orvar's won his last 2, although he was 25-1 shot last time. I don't like either. I just think that regular performer around here, Boom the Groom's got trap 1. He was 4th in this last year, close 4th as well. I mean, they'll all finish in alignment. They tend to. But I think around 7-1, he's got the right stall. He was 5th last time behind Orvar, I think, but he was drawn 10 then, a 10 of 10 at Wolverhampton, and I think he prefers this track as well. So he'll do for me.
Each way?
How many runners we got? 8. Oh yeah, just got the dead 8. If they all go, yeah.
Okay. Tom Nugent, who do you think the winner will be?
My extensive notes before Orvar's last run consisted of 3 words. There were nuts, wind, and Midgley. He was gelded. He has his wind done and moved to the yard of Paul Midgley, and he improved for that. And with the heady combination of those 3 words again, I'd fancy him to get the better of these. A gracious run. John has ran absolutely stink the last 2 starts. Couldn't have him at all. I think Orvar might just be improving a touch, so I'll take a chance with him.
Brendan, is this card at Lingfield the highlight of Saturday for you?
Yes, this race is really tricky, I thought. But yeah, probably the Winter Derby is a very interesting race. I'll be looking forward to that.
You're more of a flat man, aren't you?
Yeah, probably. In fairness, we've been spoiled the last few weeks with the national hunt stuff. It's not great this week, I would say, certainly compared to the last few weeks. But this is, as Paul said, it's very interesting. He basically stole my notes, which is a good thing for me, because you want to have the same notes as Paul Keeley as often as possible. I think you have to take on the favourite. He's a very tricky horse. He's inclined to run off at the bends. He can sulk if he doesn't get to the front. There's a potential pace spoiler in Brother Tiger. I thought, like Paul, that Boom the Groom would just sit in the box seat and pounce late.
Lovely stuff. And the 3:15 is the Betway Winter Derby, which they tend to have been running in spring, but it's back into actual winter. And boy, is it going to be winter with this cold weather front. So it's the 3:15, and yeah, it's the highlight of the winter season. And Tom, set the scene with a show of prices, if you would.
Yeah, Clear Skies is our 11-4 favourite at the moment. Autocratic is next in a 4-1. Khalidi is 11-2. Utmost 6-1. Convey 13-2 and 10-1 bar.
What price is good old Gabriel, who will be having his 75th race on the flat? What a lovely horse he is.
I actually couldn't believe Gabriel was 20-1, which I thought was a big price. And I've actually backed him each way here. I think he has a chance.
Excellent. Okay, you're going for good old Gabriel, who, let's not forget, 6 years ago ran against Frankel in the Sussex Stakes. Isn't that mad? He's a lovely old horse, but I'm not sure he's going to be Brennan's tip. Who are you going to go for, Brendan?
Well, yes, it's a fair point you make. This race has been moved back, Bruce, because of Easter, because of the Good Friday. I mean, something needs to be done about Easter, doesn't it? I mean, they're just moving it around.
I know. I know you're not allowed to, insult or upset religious people, but surely if you've got a fixed date for Christmas, can you not have a fixed date for Easter?
Yes, I mean the second full moon after I did the shopping. I mean, this is no way to. It's something that we can launch a campaign. This is something we can do to get a fixed date for Easter. But anyway, we move on. Yes, I do like one here, Bruce. I like the Utmost. Who put up a career best latest on only his 6th start. So story checks out that he's improving all the time. Beautiful mover, this horse. Really uses himself very well. And he did have a tactical edge the last day, so you could argue he was flattered. But the thing is, he's going to have the same tactical edge tomorrow. There's no real competition for the pace. I think he'll jump out in front, be able to control it, kick off the end as he did. And I thought he won a shade snugly the last day as well. Looks a massive each way price to me at 6-1.
Okay, what's your view on the favourite, Brennan? Because obviously, Aidan O'Brien, JP McManus, Ryan Moore is obviously a set of connections that's going to attract a lot of punters. Do you think he's a little skinny?
I thought she was a little skinny. Now, improving mares, you've got to respect them and what have you. And as you say, connections. But I think on form, she is a bit skinny at that price. I mean, it's really, you could throw a blanket over 5 or 6 of these, and I think it might just come down to tactical advantage.
Utmost, quite a strong fancy there for Brendan Duke. Paul Keeley, who do you think will win the Winter Derby?
I don't see what's wrong with last year's winner, Convey. He's won twice at Lingfield. He won that, and then he won the All-Weather Championships very easily. He's had a break, but he'd had a break last year, so it doesn't really bother me. Trained by Sir Michael Stout. Booked Joe Fanning because he can't have Ryan Moore, who's on the Aidan O'Brien favourite, Clear Skies. I don't see it. I think 5-6-1's about quite a nice price.
Righty-ho, let's go back over the sticks and to Fairyhouse, the 3:30, the At the Races Bobbyjo Chase, Grade 3. What's the latest betting, please, Tom?
Fells Hill is our 7-4 favourite at the moment. Mala Beach is 2-1. A Genie in a Bottle 7-2. Lord Scoundrel 8. Val de Ferb 12-1, and that's 40-1. The Champagne Harmony.
And who wins, Tom?
I think the conditions of this race could prove to be a superb little benefit to Mala Beach. Mala Beach gets £8 from Bells Hill, who is the 7-4 favourite. I think you'd want your head examined if you're back in Bells Hill at 7-4 after nearly a year off. Obviously, Willie's a genius and he does everything really well, but I couldn't back him at 7-4. Malabeach is the best horse in the race on ratings and gets £8 from him. £6 clear on ratings and in receipt of £8. I just think this is a superb bit of placing, and I think Malabeach will win.
Okay, quite a few people who I would absolutely categorise as shrewd think Bells Hill's a good value bet for the Grand National. Kills, have you got a view on the Bobbyjo chase?
Pretty much just echo what Tom said. I think it's a silly price. I mean, if he's being lined up for the Grand National, he ain't going to be super fit, is he? He does have his right. He does have his right conditions because he loves soft ground. But you know, I think Racing Post ratings has got him a lot further than £8 clear as well. So, you know, as favourite, you can't back him. As far as the Grand National's concerned, I think he wants soft ground. And I think he can be a bit clumsy as well, so not for me.
OK, 2 votes for Malabeach. Is it 3 votes for Malabeach, Brendan?
Yeah, I think it probably is. I mean, obviously it's tricky with the ratings because Bells Hill has only run in novice races, so he hasn't had a chance like Malabeach to run in a handicap to get it bigger. So that could throw you a little bit, but he's to give Malabeach £8. Of course, Malabeach pulled up the last day. I thought the race was tough. And again, I think I'd be swayed by the 2 lads. I'll go with Malabeach.
Righty-ho, let's do the roundups. All the horses that the boys fancy that we haven't talked about so far, but that are not their naps. Paul Keeley, kick us off.
Yeah, opening race at Kempton. That's the 1:15. I backed a horse called the Mighty Don. I think pretty much all 4 times this season. He's getting his act together. He was second 2 starts ago to Golden Fortune at Ascot when Golden Fortune was rated 123, I think now, and he's now 141. The Mighty Don is only £5 higher, having finished second to Taj Badalandabad at Huntingdon over 3 mile. I think coming back to 2 mile 5 and good ground will definitely suit. So I quite like him. And there's only We've only got 1 more at Kempton. Later on, where was I looking? At 4th act, if he bounces back to form as a very well handicapped horse in the
410.
410, sorry. He ran no sort of race on soft ground last time, but that was over hurdles. You know, this is a chase, and on his best form, he's got a bit in hand over these.
Okay, Brendan, anything in your roundup?
Couple. Well, I hope a couple. I meant to check if a horse had been declared. I might get you to do that for me in 1 second. Sorry about that.
Of course I will, mate.
The 255, definitely Drumaku has been declared. He ran well on his comeback over hurdles. He's on the same mark. That was a stronger race than this. He's since just got hit off £7 higher over fences. And I'm not even sure he is better over fences than hurdles because he has real issues with getting over the fences. £7 lower over hurdles in this race. He should win. And can you tell me in the 4:45 at Kempton if Pim has been declared?
He has.
He has, yes.
Yep.
Oh, well, this Pim is a hugely exciting horse. Won the Nicky Henderson bumper at Ayr. The race, it's hard to know what horses, unexposed horses like this. The 2nd and 3rd are pretty ordinary, but the 4th is a smart horse. It's usually a decent bumper, and it's usually a race that Henderson targets. I'd say he might have had a setback that he didn't go novice hurdling, and they said, right, we'll put that away for this year. We'll target the Cheltenham bumper, and if he goes and wins tomorrow, he won't be a big price for the Cheltenham bumper.
Well, he's still in the champion bumper, and there's only 1 other horse in that race in the champion bumper, which is the Nichols Point winner called Danny Kerwan.
Okay. It'd probably be quite short, though, and the old Pim.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I was looking at him more towards Cheltenham.
Oh, fair enough. Okie doke. Well, I mean, you want to be very careful taking on the old Black Bow in the Cheltenham bumper, don't you? Do you know Tom owns Black Bow?
Did he?
Yeah, no, bred him.
Oh, you bred him?
Oh, you bred him?
Yeah.
All right, well, even better. You bred, owned, whatever. But you've still got your fingers crossed. And James Pyman gave him a big up there today as well, didn't he? So that was good news. Right, Tom, what's in your roundup?
Just looking at there's a good juvenile hurdle, grade 3 juvenile hurdle is the first race, 1:45 in Fairyhouse tomorrow. Machuca has been talked up a bit, possibly heading Fred Winter, and Mastermind has been decent for Charles O'Brien. He's another one I'd keep an eye on. And in the bumper, the last few bumpers run in Ireland have been pretty much the Charles Burns show, and he's got another one tomorrow. Those Days Are Gone, ridden again by Richie Deegan, claiming 5. If there's any money at all, I'd say half the country will latch on to him. So it's 1-1 to keep an eye out for.
Okay, that's the 5:10 at Fairyhouse. Right, take it away, Steve Palmer.
This will not be beaten.
Brendan Duke, what's your nap?
3:15 Lingfield Utmost.
Paul Keeley. What's your nap?
The more I look at it, the more I fancy Back to the Thatch in the 2:45 at Newcastle.
Tom Nugent, what's your nap?
3:30 Fairyhouse, Malabeach.
Lovely stuff, gents. We're back with Sunday in just a mo.